What we're going to have today to talk about is the Ubiquiti units and NanoStation Loco M5, a tiny little Wi-Fi point-to-point. We're going to pair them we need two of them to pair. So like remember last week I've been talking about the planets. We also have that still here, so you can see the size wise. When you look at them to compare, it's a bit different. This one's much larger. The indicator light on the planet is on the side of it. On the Ubiquiti, it's at the back. But it's not just the size that matter here. There's a few bits and pieces that are different, especially on the Ubiquiti. There will be, obviously there will be a latch at the bottom, but there's only one LAN port at the bottom of the unit and the reset button. So if you like to connect your Ubiquiti and power up your Ubiquiti, the only way you can do it will be via the injector 24.0.5. That's the PoE you have on this injector. So what you have is a PoE and the LAN. PoE goes to your Ubiquiti, LAN it goes back to your switch, recorder, whatever you like. So it's powered from the mains. So this is going to power this device. Obviously we're going to connect that. So for each unit you will need one of these. That's what the planet used to have before, and now the planets obviously power up 12 volts DC or regular PoE, which is a big advantage. In this case, we only have, like I said, this LAN port, but still very nice piece of equipment. So let me power this up. What we have is the latch. We're just going to close the latch here. Where you can use them, obviously you can use them for any site where you need to, where you can't run the cable, for example, and you just like to stream all your cameras back to the recorder. It could be from the shed, from hundreds of meters away. So there you go, locked. So now we have them powered. I have two of them here. So let me put them back on the side. So let me see the software, show you the software. Actually, the software, it's really straightforward. I would recommend to use a Google Chrome for this setup, because the Google Chrome would have this plugin, the Ubiquiti device discovery tool, that will allow you to search for all the Ubiquitis. If you don't know the default IP address, it's 192.168.1.20, but in the case if you don't know that IP address, you can always use the tool, or if someone changed that IP address beforehand. So let me show you the actual tool and the software itself, and how to log in and how to pre-configure them. And by the way, on the previous videos, I put those timestamps under the description under the video, so you can jump into the actual time frame. I'm talking about the setup, not the boring stuff at the beginning. So view the previous videos as well. And so let me show you the actual setup. So we go to the monitor here. That's the live view. It's all live here. So this is the Ubiquiti NanoStation. By just clicking it, it brings up the login page. So this is our login page. The login page and the the username, it's a UBNT. So UBNT, and UBNT is the password as well by default. So there is, you just need to select the country. That's it, and accept the terms and conditions, and just log in. So this is the access point we're going to log in first. In this case, what we have, it's the access point, but we haven't set this up as an access point yet. So one of your devices will work as like an access point, as like a router in a house that is broadcasting wireless, and the other unit will be your client, will be like your phone, will be just receiving this signal, and they will eventually talk to each other. So in order to make them talk to each other, we need to go to the wireless settings, and in this case we just select an access point, and we need to make sure that the WDS is it's enabled. We're just going to change the SSID. We can just go with the Fortis access point, and of course we can set up the password, which is obviously highly recommended. So we're just going to put our password. You can put your own password if you like. Once we have that done, what else we have here? I do recommend to use outdoor frequencies, not the one that, you know, any Wi-Fi, any modem in the house will interfere your signal. So we might just check the box for hide the indoor channels. So that will bring, you know, pick up one of these channels for you. Once you have that done, all the check boxes are checked. You just click the change settings, and it's going to ask you to create a password, new password for your admin. So we're just going to use the old Ubiquiti and whatever new password we'd like to have to be set up on this Ubiquiti. So this is changed. So before we go anywhere else, we need to apply those settings, and this is it. That's applied. It might just take a minute for the unit to reboot now, because it's actually saving the new setup and it's going to change this unit to an access point. You can obviously have a few multiple clients connected to one access point if you like as well, in that 45-degree angle. The Ubiquitis also have this discovery tool, but also the site survey tool. So this is just loading in a second. When you do the site survey, that will this is going to be really beneficial for you, because you're going to avoid any other wireless in range, which is really good. So that comes back now. So you see there's a few tools that you can use, like a discovery tool that will show all the devices on the local network. The site survey, it's really important to do any kind of site survey, because on any stage there could be any wireless that will interfere your signal, and it could be at the same frequency, the same channel, and then you'll be just asking for trouble. So it's good to have the site survey done before you install them, and just to make sure everything is all right. You know, you have a free channel just for yourself. So once we have this unit set as an access point, so you see this is our access point. We also like to change the IP address. By default is 20, so we're going to set an access point as 201, and again change and apply those settings. You can test those settings, so in the case if you're conflicting with any other IP address, it will revert back, and I'm going to tell you to use a different IP address in the case if you're actually conflicting with anything else. So now we just need to wait a minute for the unit to come back with the right IP address. It's already set as access point, so that will take another minute and for the unit to reboot. Once we have that done, we're going to move on to our client. So this is it. So this is 201 now. It's done and dusted. That's all it is to it. So let me reconnect my second Ubiquiti. The way I'm doing it, the same as I've done it with the planets before. I set it up, the access point first, connected to my laptop, and then I still have that unit powered up, so it will broadcast the access point, the wireless. But I don't have to connect it to my switch anymore. I'm just gonna connect the client to my switch, so they won't conflict. So in a case if I will connect them wirelessly, they won't create the loop on my switch. So like you see here, my PoE, it's connected to the actual Ubiquiti, and my LAN port, it's connected to my switch. So now I should have an access to my switch. So if I use my discovery tool, here you go, this is the 20. Like you see, the 201 is not there because I disconnected from my switch to not create the loop in the future, in the next few steps, you know, when I connect everything to the access point. So now again, I just need to click into it, and it's going to ask me for the same to create the user, to actually log it into it. I just go proceed to the page. So again, Ubiquiti, select your country. That's it, and terms and conditions, and login. So again, at the moment it's not connected to anything but my laptop. We go to wireless connections on the top of the page, and you see this is the station. So we're just going to use the station, the WDS there, and going to select our network. So you can see there's plenty of other Wi-Fi in the range, and the one we are looking for is the Fortus access point. So this is the one here. Once we have that, so just scroll down to the bottom, and it's very important to actually lock this client to this particular access point, because just in a case if you have multiple pairs on site and you're going to name the same for this access point or whatever you're going to, and you want lock this access point with a MAC address, you know, the client might be bounced back and forward from different access point, and you might lose some connectivity. In the case if that is a daisy chained connection or so, you might notice that some cameras dropping off. So it's really important to always lock to that access point. And of course, we need to enter our password. So once we have the password entered, we just change the password for this unit as well. So it's up to you what password you're going to get there. And now just going to go and apply. So this is applied now. So again, it might just take a minute to actually take an effect for those new settings. So if I go to a network, yes, I need to wait a minute for the unit to reboot, take a new setting, and then we're going to move on and we're going to do the last bit. We're going to change the IP address of the second unit, so of that station of the client. And so like, you know, the 201 is the first one, 202 we're going to set for the second one. And if you have more than one pair, obviously any other additional client or an access point you would have there would have to have its own IP address. So you need to make sure each one of them would have individual IP address. And obviously your laptop has to be on the same range in order to actually log into these units. So now we're going to set this one to 202, change it there, apply. I will save those settings, and in another minute we should have this unit back online. So when I go back to my Ubiquiti tool, I'm just going to clear that, scan it, nothing comes up yet. We need to wait for a second. So like you see, it's really straightforward. So it's like setting up the Wi-Fi router in your house. You just put your SSID, put your own password, and just save all the settings. And on the other side, you just do it like with your laptop or with your phone. You search for the access point, enter the password, and off you go. That's it. And so this should come back. So you see straight away 202 just came back. So this is our client. So that could be our camera end. When you have multiple cameras on the other side, we're not connected to the switch, and then switch connected to this client. So if I clear that and scan again, here you go. So I can also see the access point. So 201 is an access point which is broadcasting, and of course I can log in and see the status of this connection. So let me see. Remember, you've changed password, so there's no UBNT anymore. It's whatever password you created here, and you have this status. The quality of this connection is at 300 megabits per second, in and out, no problem whatsoever. The same as the Planet, the same speeds you can get by just connecting these as well. Really straightforward. This is all to it. Really important thing, always do the site survey. So always go and actually check what you have currently on site. So you can see it's really simple. Just by clicking the button, you can see, all right, this is the Wi-Fi in the range. So we need to avoid those channels. I need to avoid these frequencies. And you can see which one is the strongest, which is the weakest. Of course, the lower number here would be the strongest channels. So in this case, we need to make sure we avoid these frequencies that they have listed. So like you see here, this is all to it. And that's all. So if you have any other questions, if you like some help with design on the side, either with the Planets or Ubiquitis, if you're going to get any of them in the early future, you can give us a call and we're going to help you to set them up. You can pre-configure them for you if you like, but by watching this video you can see it's really straightforward and it's really simple to do. So if you have any questions, again, give us a call. If you like to check the price on any other units we have, call out your sales manager. They're going to get you on. And thank you very much, and enjoy your beautiful Wednesday, and see you next time.